Welcome back to Art Talk from Art in the Loop. I'm Frances.
And I'm Jack, and today we are here with Dink. Dink is a Mexican-American artist raised between Kansas City and Mexico. His style blends intricate line work, bold illustration, and Dia de los Muertos skull imagery. Since founding his studio in 2012, he has worked across murals, gallery shows, apparel, live painting, and tattoos. With work shown in New York, Denver, Chicago, Mexico, and the UK, he recently returned home to Kansas City to open a studio and gallery for the community. And his piece, We Are Home, is on view at the North Loop Southbound KC Streetcar Shelter. Welcome, Dink.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Dink was nice enough to bring some prints for the podcast here. So, for someone waiting at the North Loop stop, can you describe this character floating over their heads? Like, who is he and what's he up to?
Yeah, absolutely. So he's kind of like a different extension of my own self, kind of like a self-portrait, if you will. So he's a little sugar skull, Mexican cartoon tagger guy. And that's basically what I considered myself to be. I grew up tagging, and it's kind of just fell into everything else as I moved on with my career. So I always kind of illustrate him as this little cartoony guy. He's always getting into mischief, into different adventures and this and that. So the concept behind this one was I wanted to show him kind of like a little younger, youthful Dink in a way, holding all these balloons. He's just waiting at the streetcar, and the streetcar like swooshes by and kind of like takes him a little bit. So he's kind of floating. So when you see him, it's kind of like a giant oversized character being floated away by some balloons. And the balloons themselves just say, "We are home." So in my own way, I wanted to just showcase like we are home here in Kansas City. We are home as immigrants, and we are home just us as people. Like, you know, we're just here. So he's just kind of getting into this little tiny adventure, just hanging on and waiting for the streetcar to kind of come by.
Excellent. It's such a great sentiment.
Yeah.
So can you explain to us, you said this is a caricature of yourself and you're going back and forth in ages, etc. So tell us about how you came to develop this character.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I'm kind of grew up in the graffiti world. Like I started tagging when I was in like middle school. Like that's just my cousins, my brothers were into it, and I just kind of fell into it. I was like the little kid that was always on lookout, you know, but they always taught me everything, and I just kind of really got into it early on. And so that's why I say he's like a little tagger guy, but I wanted to create my own character. I never fully got into the whole lettering scene, but I always did like little cartoon characters, like floating next to my cousins or my brothers, like actual lettering pieces, you know. Yeah. So I was like, what can I do that I can create my own custom character that speaks to me, my come up, like what I stand for, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of threw in, I always say it's like the three elements that I threw into a pot were my Mexican culture, Dia de los Muertos, tagging, and then obviously like old school cartoons, which I obviously loved drawing when I was growing up. So this little guy is just an embodiment of like those three things. And like I said, he's just me. Like I just throw him into scenarios of things that either happened to me in real life or crazy situations that I'm just like, wow, what if this like happened, you know? So he's just the basis of my entire work.
Are you saying that you were the kid in school who everybody was like, draw me Sonic?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All the time. That, Dragon Ball Z, like yeah. Looney Tunes, like anything and everything. So like I was always that kid, and I mean, hey, I got some Doritos out of it.
People love that guy.
Yeah, I feel that, man. People were just doing the same thing to me.
Absolutely.
It's tough.
It is for sure, but it was fun.
Yeah. Before we started shooting, we noticed more details about the character, and you said earlier that you love adding all of these details for people to see. Could you describe a little more of how you add these hidden Easter eggs in your artwork?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I kind of wanted him to be this sort of like, if you imagine like when you see Mickey Mouse, like you're just like, hey, that's Mickey Mouse. It's Disney, it's this and that. And he's like the iconic face of that. So I was like, what would be that for me? And so I wanted to create this character. So the first thing I developed was his little head. And the little head is based off of a sugar skull. If you guys know how sugar skulls are made, in Mexico, they're actually made in molds. So different families that make actual sugar skulls, they have these molds. They add the sugar, the water, they make a type of paste, they let it dry overnight, take it out, and each one looks exactly the same because it's made in a mold. So my character, it's the same head on every character. But then you decorate it with like icing or like whatever you have. So to me, my decoration is like giving him different clothing, different hats, putting him in different scenarios. So he's like my little template, my little mold of a sugar skull, which is obviously my culture and my upbringing. But then he gets into all these little tiny things, which is like to me my decoration. And like, so for this one, I wanted him to be decked out, holding a little spray can, which is an ode to like my graffiti come up. He has kind of like a little look like the outfit is somewhat related to Mickey's little like red pants and like his like overalls, like the old school cartoons. But then he's wearing little Cortezes, which I grew up wearing all the time, and I'm still wearing to this day. So that's just an ode to like my childhood, my come up, my culture, and then a little floating sombrero, just showing that he's Mexicano, just like I am. The little cacti around are kind of like showcasing like kind of a little bit more of the movement of like getting like blown away, but also I just add that in my work all the time. My dad, he's the one who grew cacti in our front yard, you know, so I add that little element, like a little surprise to him. He has a little gum on his shoe. That's just an everyday, like we all get gum on our shoes some days, but whatever, we're still here. We ball, you know, it is what it is. So like all these little things that I include are like little tiny odes to like things in my life that are very personal, things that I grew up just loving, and I just want to showcase it in my work, and maybe it relates to other people when they see it as well. But overall, it's just like, hey, like this is me. Like,
it's very relatable, and I really do like how this cartoon is just a rare character that has more than one set of clothes.
Yes. Absolutely, man. Like I have like tons and tons of versions of this character. Like there's a guy that plays pool, there's a guy who's on a lowrider bike, there's a guy who sells paletas. Like he's just anything and everything. So I'm creating this sort of like Dink universe of like characters right now that I just have a library of, and I just use for different types of projects.
Have you gotten anybody requesting a particular commission to make it look like a certain the way, or has your kid asked like, hey, make this one for
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like a lot of my clients hit me up and they're like, hey, like I'm trying to do this cool shirt, like could we do something like this? Or like any commission like canvas pieces. Like when I lived in Denver, a lot of people wanted a guy like snowboarding and stuff like that. When I lived in New York, they wanted like the skyline type deal. And it just really depends on where I'm at, what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and like, you know, the type of vibe I want to put out. And then for something like this, obviously I created the whole entire concept to just kind of be around like me, myself, and like showcasing like we are home, we are KC, you know, we are immigrants.
Absolutely. When did you transition from tagging to I'm going to do this as a career, as a job, as something that I can not only make myself known as an artist, but also, you know, turn it into work? Yeah,
absolutely. So I started tagging when I was probably like late 5th grade, early 6th grade, like middle school's time, and I just kind of kept doing it. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and so I kind of got into it very young, which was great. And I would go around the neighborhood. I'd go down to the West Bottoms, a bunch of areas. And it just was what it was. I was part of the culture, it was part of my come up and everything, and I loved it. And then I would always go to, I would love going to galleries. Like I would just, like First Fridays when I was growing up, like back when it was like maybe like high school, First Friday really started popping off. So I would come down here, I would check out the galleries, all the different artists, I would network, and I would just get immersed in like this world. It was super cool. But it honestly wasn't until like senior year of high school, I got a really cool opportunity to start showcasing my work a little bit more, get it into little galleries for First Fridays, getting some private commissions. And it was my art teachers in high school that really pushed me to be like, dude, you should go to art school. Yeah. Like you should really go to KCAI, this and that. And that was never anything that I really thought about growing up, that artwork would be like a full-time career for me. Mm-hmm. I grew up playing soccer. It was always kind of like my passion and dream. But I needed something else to fall back on. And it wasn't until like high school that I played varsity for some years out there, and I absolutely loved it. But it was right when I was going to graduate, I was like, you know what? Like, I kind of don't like running anymore, so I should figure something else out. And I kind of fell more into my art. My teachers kind of pushed me to create a portfolio to go to KCAI, and I kind of flipped the coin. My whole life, I've just been flipping coins, and whatever it lands on, it just kind of goes with it. And I've been fortunate enough that it's all kind of worked out. So I said, hey, I'm gonna flip a coin. I'm gonna submit stuff, and if I get in, like, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I flipped it. I got into KCAI, got some really good scholarships, and I was able to go there, which was absolutely amazing and like super, super cool. So that's when new opportunities started to come. I started to like branch out, network with other artists, other galleries, other community leaders in the art world, and I just started doing it and while I was in art school. So officially I created my brand in 2012. I think it was like my junior year of art school. And that's when I started to really like offer services, offer some mural work, some gallery stuff. I would volunteer at a bunch of galleries. One of my mentors and really good friends now, Psych Style, like he helped me out a lot growing up. And it was just super cool to just kind of see the community come together and just be part of it and just to start like expanding what I was doing.
Absolutely. I love that you're sharing the full scope of what you've had to do to claim your place in this community, right? Because I think that's something that especially at KCAI. I mean, what an incredible space to develop your art. And then also we all need these business skills. So spending your time volunteering in those galleries and networking, getting to know people is just as important as school, right?
Absolutely.
And it is really impressive how you branched into different mediums, from murals to even tattoos. And you mentioned that you started that a couple of years ago. How's that going?
Oh, it's amazing, man. A lot of people don't know, but during my career, I was here in Kansas City. Once I graduated, I went to New York, and then I went to Denver. So I was gone for like 7 years from Kansas City. But during those years, I networked and expanded with a lot of tattoo shops that were depending on the city that I was in. So I would either like work like front desk. I would help them with like creating their merch, branding, logos. I do all that stuff on the side. So I've helped a lot of like Kansas City local businesses like create their branding, create their logos, because it's something that I know how to do. So it was something that I was like, let me offer this, make some money. It's still creative work, and I still get to help the community one way or another. Even if it wasn't my style or my work, I get to like branch out and help people. So I was always in shops, no matter where I lived, like just being involved, working, volunteering, whatever it was, because I just love the shop vibe. Like it was always there. So I grew up kind of learning and being part of shops like almost my entire career. And it wasn't until I moved back here at the end of 2020, like after the pandemic, that I moved back to KC. And in 2021, at the end of it or so, I kind of linked up with this really old friend, super cool guy. His name is Tyler Moody, and he owns Surreal Tattoo, and that's been there since like 2013. He's an OG friend of mine, and he opened up a new shop called Tiger Alley over in Columbus Park at that time. And he was like, hey dude, I have some time, I have some space, I'm looking for artists, if you're ever interested. And we kind of linked up again, chopped it up, and by the end of our talk, like he offered me an apprenticeship. So I had time, he had time, and I was like, this is the moment where I get to dive fully into this and like get a full apprenticeship, do it the correct way, the OG way, and learn. So I kind of took the opportunity. I was like, this is it. You know, this is something I've always wanted to get into and expand my work into that. Outside of my Dink brand, like the Dink character, I had other elements and things that I always loved to illustrate, like Chicano art, stuff from Lowrider magazine, cartoons, anything and everything. Like I was just like, there's this whole other library and this whole other side of like Dink that like I just need to express myself in a different way, and this medium just opened that door so well. So I kind of flew through my apprenticeship like in 6 months. He was like, dude, you have the whole backing of everything else you need. I'm physically gonna just teach you how to tattoo. So I trusted him, took his word, and he was an incredible mentor. I'm still rocking with him right now. I'm at the shop now, back with him, and it's
so
just opened it up.
Come get a tattoo.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm at Surreal Tattoo on West 39th. Yeah. Come by, hit me up, and I'll take care of you guys for sure.
Sure thing.
Excellent. Yeah, Jack, let's go.
Yeah.
We're gonna get 50.
Let's get it. We have an event this Friday, actually. Yeah. We're starting to do third Fridays over on 39th Street as well.
Okay.
So we open up the shop. There's different vendors, different music, and like food and everything, and it's a really cool vibe.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very exciting. I can't wait for you to get your first tattoo.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be an experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll only cry a little bit.
You'll be fine. Afterwards, you'll love it, and then you're gonna get your full back piece.
That's it. You're gonna be full of endorphins, higher than you've ever been. It'll be excellent.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, I love getting people their first tattoos. It's always a cool story. There's always a lot of back and forth figuring out what it is and all that. But I always just reassure them like, hey, once you get that first line in you, like you're like, I can do this. Like it's not as bad as people think it is, you know.
Yeah.
But also, if it's something meaningful, something like that, like is really really dear to you, I think it's what makes the moment like way more important. So like, it's cool.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've given a lot of people their first tattoos, especially with this like sporting activation that I did for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Man, so many people from out of town came by to get their first tattoo just to get that experience in, and it's been great.
It's kind of incredible that they double down. They're like, you know what? I'm already here for this world life-altering, never gonna happen again event.
Yep.
Let's do this too.
Exactly. Create like a little memory and take it with you. You know, that's the basis of it.
There we go.
You know, it's
the
awesome.
Best possible memory.
Yes.
When's your birthday, Jack?
In March, so it's like
a little bit.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's like really close.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, going back to the work that you did for the North Loop, right? The balloons say that we are home, and in your statement, your project statement, you talked about communities being told to go back where they came from.
Yeah.
So I really want to talk about what do you want people to take away from the statement, "We are home"?
Yeah. So right now with like the political climate and how things are kind of going, like I always try to at least somewhat be vocal. I can use my voice and if I can use my talent at the same time, like I feel like us as artists, in a way, we're all kind of activists in our own way. So if I can, use that voice to speak to certain elements, certain times, especially hard times right now, my community is being hit very, very hard right now.
Yeah.
My parents are immigrants. They came here now 44 years ago, next week, actually. So for them to come here, not knowing the language, not knowing the land and everything, and making things happen, making things come up, I think is a huge sentiment to like their will, their power, and us wanting more out of life. So to me personally, like without them, I wouldn't be here. Without them, I wouldn't have been raised in Kansas City. I wouldn't have gotten into graffiti. I wouldn't have been able to go back to Mexico, back and forth, and be in touch with my cultural roots, So all of that literally is who I am and is who Dink is. Without any one of those little three elements, like I would be a completely different artist. Maybe not even an artist at all, you know what I mean? So it's just crazy that like right now, people are so boldly just like able to say these types of statements to people, able to spread so much hate. And so that's why I made these little balloons into hearts, because like the only thing stronger than hate is love in my eyes. And it's been said time and time again. So for me to just say, hey, tag a little thing that says we are home, like we are home, we've been home, whether it's Kansas City, whether it's Mexico, wherever it ends up being, like I think it's important for us to stand our ground, to spread it in love, not through hate, but also just remind everyone and anyone that we're all immigrants in one way or another. So we've been here, we're gonna be here, and without us, without any types of immigrants coming through, like it would just be a bland world. Our cultural differences and similarities are what make things so beautiful, and I think it's a message that needs to be spread for sure.
Well said, friend.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're back in Kansas City, what pulled you back here?
Honestly, I always kind of had this, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I've always kind of moved in threes. Three's kind of like my favorite number, my lucky number, and I always treat it as like birth, life, and death. So I spent 3 years in New York, 3 years in Denver, and I was like, all right, it's time to come back and see what's going on in Kansas City. And also, I just miss my family. They're all here and in Mexico. So being able to come back to a place that's more centralized, and then me still be able to travel to New York, to Chicago, to Denver, to this, to that. I just kind of wanted to come back and just be here and see what was going on. So like I said, I moved back at the end of 2020. So 2021, I started kind of getting back in the scene and figuring stuff out. And it was great. I loved everything that was happening. And that was the first time that I kind of got involved with Art in the Loop. So I had heard about it when I would come to visit, because some of my other artist friends were involved with it and they did some stops. So I was like, this is my time to kind of like get involved again. And they had an open call. I submitted and I got chosen for that first one, which was great.
Exciting.
So this is my second time around that I've been chosen for one. And it's so cool. It's so cool. So seeing all the cool new opportunities, how the city is like slowly but steady like growing. Everybody's networking, everybody's grinding in like their own way. So being able to plug back in with some of my old connects, but also plug back in with everything new that was happening, I thought was definitely key in me being able to contribute again and grow with a community that was already flourishing.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Kansas City really is a very vibrant, it really does have like a vibrant art and design community.
Yes.
And it's just super easy to make connections. So
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you just kind of have to know where to look, and like just be part of the community and show up and show out, honestly.
There it is.
Yeah.
You heard it here, kids. Please know these are the life lessons you need if you want to make it as an artist in Kansas City.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us more about the studio and gallery that you're building here? Like, what do you want it to be for the community?
Yeah, so I would say it was maybe like 2022 towards the end of it or so. So I'm originally from Kansas City, Kansas, in the Strawberry Hill area. So I grew up there. It's a very heavy immigrant-based community. I grew up there. I moved there in '93. So when I moved back at the end of 2022, I took over my family house, which is where I grew up. So I was able to take over that. My parents moved to their other house. And it's kind of crazy being back in the neighborhood that I grew up in. Like, I still walk around and I'm like, dude, I tagged that like garage so long ago. Like, it's crazy. But this little spot kind of opened up 2 blocks away from my home. Little corner spot. It used to be a bookstore called Flagship, and they moved locations down the street. A spot opened up, and I was like, I kind of want to open my studio now. Like, I had a home studio my whole life, and I was like, this seems like a good opportunity. It's a great space, and I can afford it, and I'm in a good space to just let's offer a little bit more. So I opened my first legit out-of-house studio in Strawberry Hill, 2 blocks away from my house, and opened it in 2022. and I stayed there for like almost two years or so. That was kind of like my lease, and I opened my doors to offer like a gallery space for like my work, and also like other local artists and out-of-state artists as well. I did a little storefront where I had all my merchandise, and as well as other locals. So I offered like little consignment for like shelving. And then I also did workshops. So I did like Day of the Dead Sugar Skull workshops, some clothing workshops, some small kid like canvas stuff, some things with like some local businesses that would come in and do private events. So anything and everything that I offered was that was the home base for it. So I was able to do that, and it was awesome. It was like really, really cool while it was up. Yeah. And then from there, I started to get involved with like the tattoo scene and everything. So I was kind of back and forth from studio to shop. My lease ended. I kind of was like, hey, where can I go? And luckily, like I said, my mentor opened his doors, and he was like, dude, just bring your studio to the shop. We have this whole front section. Let's do what you're doing there. Bring it here. That way you can kind of run through your apprenticeship a little bit quicker, because you'll be here full time. And that just kind of took off. So I was from the Strawberry Hill original DINKC Studios. I then moved to Tiger Alley, and I transitioned into there. And then now that we shut down Tiger Alley, I'm at Surreal Tattoo Studio on West 39th, and I have my own private back studio at the back of the shop.
Okay.
So I still have everything there, just not the storefront, but everything else I'm able to do in there, and tattooing, which is awesome.
Excellent. So you've got everything in-house?
Yeah. Everything has to be in-house. That way I can just control quality. Like, everything is just made by me. I know how to do anything and everything that comes out of my own studio, my own brand is like, I have a hand in it, like no matter what.
We said it's the second time that you had applied for Art in the Loop too. Yeah. So tell me, what does it mean to you to have your work on display in this kind of exhibition for this very particular program? Like, why Art in the Loop? Yeah, I mean,
Art in the Loop is super cool. And I'm super cool with Streetcar Donna. She's amazing. She's like a plug in the community. She's a networker, a go-getter, a grinder. And I just love hanging out with her. She's super cool. But she's the one who kind of plugged me into the opportunities and everything. She's always sending me when they have open calls and all that. And if I have time, I definitely will apply, because I think this is just another avenue of open public, like street art in a way, without us having to physically paint. I know some of them do like live performances where people paint and stuff, but this is just another avenue for me to showcase my artwork publicly, be able to send messages that I feel are appropriate with the times, and just be able to showcase my work, especially this year with the World Cup and everything. Like, so many other eyes were able to see it, and I thought it was super important for me to kind of like give those international fans that came here to experience Kansas City a little taste of like what we have to offer. So it just kind of made sense for this time around, and I just wanted my work to be anywhere and everywhere as much as I possibly could during this season, and luckily I was able to lock this one in too.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's excellent work.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
It's genuinely beautiful work.
Thank you, man.
Well, thank you for talking to us today.
Absolutely.
We have been so grateful to interview you, Dink.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys, and if you guys ever need any other tattoos or any other things, just let me know.
Oh, we're getting on the book right after this interview.
Absolutely, let me know. I got you.
I'll be there for the final.
Yeah.
A tattoo beforehand.
Absolutely, let's get it. Yeah, I'm gonna be at Sporting these 2 weekends, so Saturday, Sunday are my last 2 days for that activation.
Okay.
So it should be a cool time.
Who do you think's gonna win?
Oh man, I don't know. At this point, it's like, gosh,
Giant
there's so
meteor.
much going on. Yeah, it's kind of, we'll see. It's Spain, Argentina, so I don't know. We'll see. I love Yamel. He's kind of up and coming star, but it's Messi's last year too, so we'll see.
Yeah.
It's a flip for sure.
There it is. It's gonna be a good time either way.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, come get tattooed. That'll be the best time.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Thank you again for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.